Right, well, hello and welcome back to the Squirrel Heed YouTube channel. First time doing any sort of live streaming sort of content, but I figured I'd give it a shot just to do with the England and Slovakia game that we've just had to witness. So today we got our wish. We got our wish of getting Jamie Vardy and Daniel Sturridge in the team. So obviously the match has just finished about maybe 20-30 minutes ago and just trying to process exactly what happened in that game. It's just ridiculous what happened in that game. Like, you cannot tell me, like, you can have that. Well, actually, no, right. Let's try and structure it a little bit. Okay, so obviously, team going into it, and I went through it before. Just quickly, I left a stream, stream. I left a video up before just because I thought it was quite exciting that we'd obviously got what looked like a good team on paper. Obviously, we really didn't account for how much they were going to attack. They were going to try and keep Slovakia were going to keep us out. But damn, right, we go with Joe Hart in goal, standard. But I would like eventually to have seen one of the other goalkeepers in. Mainly Fraser Forster because I think he's a class goalkeeper, but I don't think we'll see him now. Not that there's anything wrong with Joe Hart. There's not. I just like to see some of the other goalkeepers and other players in general get a fair shout. That's what it's all about for me. Anyway, so moving on. So what we got is we had Ryan Bertrand who was giving away some silly fouls in my opinion. He was giving away some fairly stupid fouls. Picked up a yellow card for one, which allowed them to whip in a fairly dangerous free kick as well. You had Chris Smalling, Gary Cahill, centre backs, fairly solid, no complaints. Nathaniel Klein, only complaint I've got against Nathaniel Klein, the same one I have was when he plays for Liverpool. Great going up top, creating some chances, has some great pace in that. Just before the final third, he nearly slotted something through to one of the forwards. Didn't quite get there. I mean, it's just frustrating. And then obviously coming back into defence, not the most consistent on that front either. So I mean, it's not the best, I mean, it just isn't. It's disappointing from that standpoint. Anyway, I think Kyle Walker in the England setup anyway has been doing a bit of a better job than Nathaniel Klein. Can't really complain too much, but it just would have been really great to have seen like a really good defensive, solid performance, and them actually creating a bit more up top. Maybe that would have been somewhere where Danny Rose could have come in instead of maybe Ryan Bertrand. Same with Kyle Walker as well, but anywho, let's move into that midfield. Eric Dyer, no issues really with Eric Dyer, apart from maybe taking some shots from like maybe 30-40 yards or trying to and them hitting the backs of defenders. It's not real. It's not going to work every time. You can score a blazing free kick, but you can't do that all the time. Not that he's doing it all the time, obviously, but it would have been nice. That was one of the moments where I thought he could have maybe played in one of the forwards or something like that. Then you had Jordan Henderson, who, honest to God, by 70 minutes, looked knackered. Looked absolutely knackered, and he did. He was like proper red in the face, absolutely knackered. Obviously, hasn't played a lot for Liverpool this year, which I completely understand. He hasn't played a lot, but it just maybe a change there could have been. Well, then I suppose he's only got three changes he can make, and he made them pretty clearly. Starting with obviously Jack Wilshere. Now, Jack Wilshere for me, and this is obviously just for me. You know, any Arsenal fans out there, I'm not slagging off your club, and I'm certainly not slagging off the fact that he's an Arsenal player. I'm just taking the fact that he looked invisible out there. Didn't look like he was contributing a great deal. Didn't look like a lot was happening or any for him, which is unfortunate because he is a good player when he is fit and he's been playing for a long time. It's when he plays fit and when he plays for a long time, he doesn't necessarily get the opportunity to do that ever. Obviously, I think he was replaced by Wayne Rooney as well, who he looked about his distribution around the pitch was a lot better, way more assured. I was worried like before the match that yes, make six changes to your team, all well and good, but keep your players like Rooney, who Rooney's one of those players. Even when he's playing quite badly, you keep him playing anyway because he's one of those players that just seems to he thrives on you play him. The more you play him, the better he'll be, and he'll get better and better and better. And in that position that he was playing in midfield, he was playing better than any midfielder of ours, really. Apart from maybe Dele Alli, who also came on as well, and he was very lively as well. Nearly got on the end of a great chance that was blocked. Disappointed if that had gone in. That would have been obviously, well, it would have been a 1-0. We'd be probably a bit happier with the result. Um, Before all that, though, we did get our wish of getting Sturridge and Vardy up top. Wasn't working. It just wasn't like I'm probably going to get into anyway. Is that we had a lot of possession. We had some great like possession all over the pitch. And look, I think statistically we had 62%. They had 38. Possession's not all about is not what this game's all about. You can listen to pundits all day. They can do the statistics of how many blades of grass a certain player ran, and that contributes to how hard they worked. No, it doesn't. It comes down to the result at the end of the day, and the result that we're sat with is a 0-0. I can't look at a 0-0 and be happy with it. I really can't. Why am I not happy with a 0-0? Because now we're unsure of where we're going to go. I am going to go on tangents. It's going to happen. Bear with me. Um, you know, we don't know. I think that on commentary or something like that, it was ITV commentary had said that we could be looking at the runners-up of Group F. So we could be looking at anyone between like Austria and I was going to say Ronaldo then, and Portugal, which is essentially just Ronaldo. We could be looking at any of those sorts of teams who can turn it on whenever they want, or they can turn it on when they're playing against England. Or it's just it's frustrating. Vardy, bless him, was trying his goddamn hardest. And I will say Sturridge was trying his hardest as well, but Vardy just looked like he wasn't getting the right service. Maybe the type of play that we were looking at today, the type of play that we were doing was, all that passing around the box and stuff like that. Could that deter him from a move to Arsenal? We'll keep that one in the pocket for when I do a transfer talk video. Obviously, there's some big ones there about Vardy. Still not made a decision by the sounds of it. Adam Lallana looked again like he had some great chances, but damn, he's putting them straight down the throat. He's putting them straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. And it's, any other side, or even just like maybe a metre either side, and it's gone in, it's 1-0 or whenever. He had some great chances, and he's had some great chances in this tournament. He just hasn't been able to put them in the back of the net. Another problem that he's had with Liverpool. One of the things that he always gets comments on is that he is a good midfielder, but good midfielder or right winger, depending on which manager's playing him and where they're playing him as well. It's just bit frustrating because on paper, and I've said this before in a video, on paper it looks like we should have been all over Slovakia, which we were in most respects. We didn't do a Spain versus Turkey where we had at 1.8 put 80% possession. We didn't do that. We're not that dominant on the ball, but we had a good game. Generally, we were passing it well. It just looked like we were overpassing it and overworking the ball in the box. Around the box. Around the pitch, we were just overworking it and just instead of just trying to take our chances, it just fizzed out. And it's disappointing, right? Because it's disappointing for a couple of reasons, but mainly because if we'd have even won this by like a 1-0, 80th minute, 89th minute, whenever, if you take a 1-0, you take that 1-0, and then it boosts you. You win the group, which would have been great, but optimistic at the best of times during this tournament after the first game. Then you take that boost of winning it or anything like that, win the group, and then the teams that you get to come up against afterwards just changes because now instead of looking at like Portugal, who can be dangerous, we've seen they can be dangerous. Ronaldo might not be having the best tournament or time of his life at this tournament. And some of the players around him as well. Got to remember, we've got like João Moutinho and Nani, to mention two, as well as a good set of like centre backs. Obviously with Pepe, who will kick lumps out of brick walls just to stop. He will do anything he can. They have got quality all over the pitch. They've got a quality goalkeeper. They're set up that where if we did ever have to go up against someone like Portugal or even Austria or anybody like that they do have quality. There's reasons why they're at these tournaments. Even if there's reasons why they're at these tournaments. It would have put us in better stead if we'd have won the group. But this is what it sounds like as an England fan. If we'd done this and if we'd done that, if we'd done this or if we'd brought this person. This is all it sounds like right now, and it's just it's annoying. Now let's. Oop. Now obviously I've had a quite a well clocking the time. I've had about a 10.5 minute rant about England, Slovakia. This is where I think it differed with Slovakia, because Slovakia came in and like they quite clearly had set up for us not to get through them, and it worked wonderfully for them. It worked really well for them. Now they obviously had Martin Skirtle, who I've said in the past can have an absolutely blinding game, and he can. He can have an absolutely brilliant game, absolutely brilliant game. What he can't always have, he doesn't do it consistently, but he's done like tonight. He pulled off some blocks that were unbelievable. That are like, why can't you do that in a red shirt, mate? Like that would have been ace in a red shirt, but he didn't do it. And then but then I can't just say about Martin Skirtle. Obviously, I know Martin Skirtle. I don't know the names of all the others, but their back four in general and the goalkeeper had a really great game. Goalkeeper pulled off some stunning saves. What can I say? They had a really good game. They parked a lot of their people behind the ball, but I can't criticise that because you know what? They came with a game plan. It looked like they came with a game plan to keep us out, and if they got an opportunity, they were gonna go for it, and they were gonna try and score against us. Which, you know, the times that Hamsik got on the ball, he sprayed a couple of really good passes, but he wasn't in the game enough to actually really harm the play or harm us, harm England. And then obviously us piling onto Slovakia just wasn't. It almost looked like we were going to overcommit at one point, and that was quite worrying. But I think the difference there is they came with a game plan, and it looked like we turned up with talented players, and we do. You take a look at like the players that we have in that squad. So obviously you've got Daniel Sturridge, very talented player, very underrated player, obviously because of his injuries that he's got, that he's had in the past. He's like a bag of quavers. You can just blow them off the rack, and that's him out for 6 months. You got Jamie Vardy, who is one half of the most dangerous strikers in England. Never mind, probably some of the most dangerous strikers in Europe outside. I mean, like out and out strikers. Got to take out like the Messis, Ronaldos, and such like that. Some of the most dangerous strikers in Europe. In the other one being Harry Kane. Yeah, Jamie Vardy, very, very good. Adam Lallana, skillful player, sometimes wasted in the positions that he's put in. You've then got, who else do we have in our team? Henderson, works hard. You know what you're going to get from Henderson. You're going to get a lot of running. You're going to get a lot of hard work. You're not going to get maybe a lot of skill, but you'll be able to get maybe some good crosses in. Just wasn't happening tonight. Wilshere, very talented player. Probably one of the most talented midfielders on paper, but I think the most talented midfielders that we do have are the young ones and Wayne Rooney, which for me is Eric Dyer, Dele Alli, and Wayne Rooney right now, because Rooney's been. I can't take away as a Liverpool fan. I shouldn't be, or apparently it's against like football code to praise a Man United player, but I can't take it away from Wayne Rooney. He's been class this tournament. He came on and he was class again. You just had that touch of class that we needed, that we maybe should have had from the start. I think. There's none of this stuff that Roy Hodgson can convince me about, where he's saying, "Oh, Wayne Rooney's a bit tired, so we're gonna rest him for a little bit." So he's been doing this for donkey's years. There's no way Wayne Rooney would have been tired, or tired enough where he would have been like, "Coach, whoa, 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 hang on, gonna have to give us some time here because I'm knackered, mate, knackered, absolutely knackered. Can't do it, can't do it." But you're captain. Well, I know I'm captain, right? But I'm not. I can't just, give us a break, God's sake. This hair's not going to run itself away. He's not going to be like that. And I don't know what that was. You can see why I don't always do live streaming. I've never done live streaming because I edit all this bullshit out. But I think we should have he's been a linchpin of our midfield, and it's been really great to see him actually come in and do really well because. It's I doubted Wayne Rooney coming into this tournament, and I think I put that in a video. Like, I didn't think that he had the grit and the bite to come into that midfield and run it. you got to look at the midfielders we've had from the past, and like obviously, I'm obviously going to say Gerrard. You had your Lampards and stuff like that. Paul Scholes didn't really kick on when it came to a tournament. There was always that old age thing of Gerrard and Lampard. Can they play together? No, they can't. But Rooney is being really, really good in that midfield position that he's been playing, and he's been working really well with the players that are around him. It's just I think he should be a definite starter for every other game. Um, anyway, I think I kind of ranted away from the point there. I think the point I was trying to make was we have a lot of talented players that didn't look like they were playing with a game plan. You know, or if whatever we were trying wasn't working, it didn't look like we had a plan B. It really didn't. It didn't look like. I remember on commentary, one of the guys turned around and said, "Oh, if we'd only had like an Andy Carroll type person, it's like, well, yeah, you took enough strikers to have an alternative, but you took Jamie Vardy and Harry Kane, shoo-ins for the squad because of how they performed this season. You then had you have Marcus Rashford, Daniel Sturridge as well, who Sturridge can be absolute quality, as he showed the other day from 45 minutes onwards. And then you've obviously got Marcus Rashford, who I kind of thought he should have had a bit of a look in today because he's a dangerous lad. He's got absolutely no fear of anybody. He's come in. He's had a really good. I think it would have been nice to see like him just go for it. He's not going to be scared. He's not going to be scared of Slovakian players. He will have come up against. I can't remember if he came up against Skirtle or not, but regardless, he'd give it a go. Um, it just would have been good to see that. And then, so obviously, who do you take out of that lot? And then obviously, I think you had Wayne Rooney also be classed as a striker as well, but he's been playing in midfield. Who do you take out of that lot? Now, for me, I'm not saying you take six strikers, but I would say maybe, leave Wilshere at home, maybe like an Andy Carroll, or someone who does also perform. It sounds ridiculous to say, someone like a Peter Crouch who's going to give you something different, something like Andy Carroll, or something like those two, because they offer you something different. What could they possibly do? You can still play the type of football you can, because Andy Carroll, despite all his injuries, again, he's plagued and cursed by injuries like Daniel Sturridge is, but you play those guys, you play those guys, those type of players up. Now, if you fire a long ball into an Andy Carroll who has ridiculous control in the air against any other players or many defenders, not a lot of defenders have a good time watching after Andy Carroll. What can he do? Right, he can either hold the ball up or he can knock it down. Now, remember what he used to do. Again, kind of tangenting a little bit, but when he first came, and obviously Suarez first came to Liverpool, and he was knocking balls down, and Suarez is running onto them. Perfect, perfect. Absolutely, it would have been perfect for like someone like Andy Carroll and Jamie Vardy. Fire up some balls or fire some balls into the box. Andy Carroll can knock them down. Jamie Vardy, or like same thing, counter attacking. If we have to go into a counter attacking mode, right now we don't have the pace. We don't have the pace in the team to do proper counter attacking. We could have. If we had an informed Sterling, if we had maybe another wide man that's got that sort of rapid pace that a lot of the other teams have. Even look at like Belgium, they don't always perform, but they've still got an outlet in like Eden Hazard. I don't know. It's there's so many options that we could have gone with as alternatives, but at the end of the day, what are my outgoing thoughts? We got out the group. Honest to God, those are my thoughts. We got out the group, and England proved me wrong on that front straight away. Because my main thought in my heart, even though I was predicting like when first game of this tournament against Russia, and I was predicting 3-1, and we got a 1-1 draw. But before that, I was saying to people that I thought we were going to go out the groups. And then obviously we had the Wales result, which was really positive for everybody involved, those that are out there and those that aren't out there as well. It was really, really positive. So I mean, that was really positive. And it's great that we've got out the group. It's just what's coming next. And whatever comes next at us is going to be a little bit worse for us than what we could have had. That's our own fault. We didn't take our opportunities as we should have. There's no one else that we can blame apart from the England setup, the England, coaching and the tactics, maybe the mentality that they've given to the players for each of the games. There's no one that you can really blame at all. Apart from that, and they really need to give themselves a massive kick up the arse for the next set of games, or even for the next game. However, it's going to work. They need to give themselves a massive kick up the arse, big style. Otherwise, they'll flop away from this tournament. They'll have got out the group, and maybe that's as far as they go. I would like to see them personally. I would love to see them get to a semi-final. I really would. Despite the fact that we've obviously got some Liverpool players in there, and I really want to make sure that they're all fit and healthy for pre-season, which is why I'm glad. Thank you, Brazil, for being knocked out. Coutinho and Firmino, you can stay at home. Stay there and be safe. Wrap yourselves in bubble wrap, lads. Got a hard pre-season ahead. Other than that, I want to see us go as far. I want at least the semi-final. I could be happy with the semi-final. I really, really would be. Any earlier than that is going to be a little bit of a disappointment, but hey ho, we'll see what happens. What are your thoughts anyway? I'm going to leave this on here. This is going to be just stay on here as an unedited video, which is probably the first unedited videos you guys get to see of me umming and ahhing and certain things, just spouting all of my mind essentially. But I had to do something after this game. Just thought I might as well just stream it directly to YouTube, and you can stay here, and there we are. You can view it whenever you like. If you've enjoyed this video, when it is on the channel, just as a video as it is, just if you can, drop a like on the video. Please share your thoughts. I encourage you to share your thoughts. Whether you disagree with me, you agree with me, whatever, share your thoughts. If you're a troll, I don't care, because I don't care. That's just how it is. But do share your thoughts. I want to engage with you guys. I want to do more of these live streams. Let me know if you like this sort of live stream sort of thing, and I'd love to maybe do some more of that sort of stuff on here, or anywhere else. I'd love to do any of that sort of stuff. Engage with you guys. Get your thoughts. Anything like that. I'd love to do stuff like that with any of you. If you've enjoyed the video, drop a like on it, please. Subscribe if you are new around here, and I will indeed catch you later. Thank you for watching.